Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Hope you are having a great start to your morning. It feels awesome here in the Southeast. I'm in South Carolina. It just feels phenomenal. Woke up to temperatures in the mid 50s, just like last Saturday morning, and it is just feeling great. I just love waking up to the early season fall cold fronts, and just a great thing to wake up to. So I hope you are doing all right this morning. We're going to look over some model guidance, as unfortunately things have trended a little bit higher as far as tropical development developing here in the short term, the medium term, and the long term. So there's three areas we're going to talk about in this video. We're really going to break down just the models in general and what they're showing, what's the latest they're showing, and then tonight we'll dive a little bit deeper into the specifics as far as strength, steering current, and some environmental factors in place that could promote development. So if you guys have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Like the video if you like it, and if interested, join my channel. It's just a way to donate to make my stuff a lot better. I'm looking into buying a better computer, so the resolution of my videos can be much better. Don't have any perks really right now, but in the future I will get them for you guys. But thank y'all for the amazing support. And like I said, hope you're having a great start to your morning. Anything that y'all need me to pray about or anybody else to pray about, please put it in the comments. I hope you guys in Newfoundland are faring well this morning. I saw some videos and it looked like it definitely hit y'all pretty hard for a few hours last night. So I hope y'all are doing good. But also, it is 9/11, so we need to remember to never forget. 20 years ago, I believe I was in I believe I was in first grade, and I remember everything about what was going on, where I was, and just a very, very sad day. So we don't need to forget what happened 20 years ago as we remember 9/11 and all the people who lost their lives. So let's get going here. Like I said, if you guys have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. This is what we got. This is infrared. This is the disturbance right here in the short term that could actually form into Nicholas. That's the next named storm, and impact areas of the southeast, mainly talking about Texas, maybe Louisiana, and throw a lot of tropical moisture into this area, maybe a lot of rain. This could be a sneaky system. I say it every video when we're talking about the Gulf of Mexico. You cannot trust it. And the western Gulf of Mexico, which is where potential Nicholas will get into, has not been really bothered lately. So the waters have warmed significantly. They're in the mid to upper 80s Fahrenheit wise. And there's a disturbance here. It's going to get over some water, and how far into the water is it going to be? Not literally like depth wise, but what I'm meaning is how far east into the Gulf of Mexico is it going to be? Is it going to kind of ride land, or is it going to be more of a water? Obviously, if it's more of a water, we have more of a threat of a tropical system brewing here. But this is going to be not necessarily a sneaky system, but something we need to watch out for because some favorable factors are in place for definitely some intensification. So we'll talk about that. There's also going to be an area we're going to mention in this video that has a chance to develop right into here and then move northwest and potentially affect the Carolinas, maybe the mid-Atlantic or the southeast. Some bullish model guidance with this, especially with the GFS, is really excited and trying to say that there's a legit chance next week that a tropical system could affect late next week, maybe in the next weekend, the southeast. So we're going to talk about that. And then long term, there has been some consistency as of the last 24 to 36 hours of something developing once it gets off the coast of North Africa and making the long track across the tropical Atlantic and being in further south enough latitude to take that southerly track, which is always kind of dangerous for the Caribbean and the Southeast. Now, we're getting into that time of the year, mainly late September into October, where the main development region, which is out here in the tropical Atlantic, begins to wind down, turn off, if you will. And the more favorable areas getting into October is the Caribbean. And that's when really areas like Florida can get hit, and then the Gulf states, which they already have. So we're going to talk about these three areas. What's the latest model showing? But let's briefly mention the weekend weather here. It is beautiful out there. You're waking up to 50s and 40s. Unfortunately, you guys in Florida, like I've said a million times, the cold fronts just do not make it that far south this time of the year. So y'all still had that tropical, stuck in that tropical air mass down there. But as far south as the Gulf areas of the coast, even the Panhandle, the furthest areas of the western Panhandle of Florida, waking up to areas in the 50s and 60s. And it's just nice. I think my low temperature here in Columbia, South Carolina, hit 55 degrees here this morning per my weather station. But beautiful conditions. Obviously, we will warm up here into the 80s. But when you see these 80s here in the southeast, don't think, oh, Lord, man, it's going to be hot. It's not. It's going to be like last Saturday when we got into the 80s. It's going to be warm. But it's going to be low humidity warm. So, you know, you're going to walk outside and you're not going to sweat to death from just standing in one spot and not even moving. The mountains of North Carolina and Virginia and Tennessee, North Georgia are going to be beautiful weather. It's going to be like just a picture perfect fall day. I'm not really expecting any rain unless you live in Florida. Maybe some showers in the Northeast. But look at this weather as you're getting into 5, 6 p.m. in the interior Northeast and just the Northeast in general. A beautiful day. Highs in the 60s and even 50s. You're starting to get to that time of the year where the leaves start to change a little bit. I've already seen some pictures around Mount Mitchell in North Carolina of some sections of the mountains that are beginning to change. So we're getting to that time of the year. Of course, we have a long time before we get to that time of the year here in the areas that are not mountainous. But we get into tonight, another beautiful night. Probably not quite as chilly across a wide area. But, you know, going into tomorrow, another low humidity day, a little bit warmer temperatures, but still beautiful conditions. So let's talk about the tropics here. You got this area, which now has an 80% chance to develop. In the next 2 days, it has a high chance too. But, I mean, we're starting to get into the 2 to 3 day range with this now. And it's that section right here, riding the coast of Mexico into the coastal areas of I guess I'm going to call Texas, Tennessee, but Texas. So this is an area we have to watch. This is an area too, but it's a little further out, and there's still some uncertainties, but I'm going to show you what's showing here too. There's this area right here that has a 70% chance to develop. But this is looking like it's going to kind of fizzle away in the long term. But we'll check out what happens there. And I believe this one right here is the one that we need to watch here in the next few days as basically a tropical wave moves off the coast of North Africa. And this could potentially be the one that develops deeper in the latitude in the more southern regions. So a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to break down. This is 94L, which is the area right around the Gulf of Mexico. Most guidance has all this moving into Texas regardless if it forms. So even if it's just a big plume of tropical moisture, the risk is still there for you guys in Texas of a lot of rain. But I really think that this is going to at least become a low-end tropical storm. I really do. And it'll be Tropical Storm Nicholas. Will it become a hurricane? You can't trust the Gulf of Mexico. But, you know, basically the farther the main vortice, and basically wherever a low-level circulation forms is out into the ocean, the higher chance it's going to have more water to work with, more of a moisture column, and basically a higher chance for it to develop into something. So there's a lot to look at this GFS, so bear with me. I know it's kind of hard to see sometimes. That's why I'm trying to invest in a better computer, guys. It's crazy. I look over all my videos when I'm done, and I'm like, dang, how does my audience see this? That's going to improve, so stick with me. I have a lot of people who watch regardless, and it just goes to show that y'all are amazing and y'all support me, and you obviously, you know, like what I'm doing to a degree. So I appreciate the patience, and one of these days I'm going to take a picture of how I do these videos. You're just going to blow your mind. It's going to be like, how did you create this channel off this little bit of a set? I'm literally sitting in me and my wife's room off probably a $50 desk table, a little $30 microphone, and actually a computer that my boss gave me at work. So I've been blessed to have people looking out for me and blessed with a great audience. But anyways, let's get off that. So check it out here. You see this area of green, yellow? That is the plume of moisture. Now last night on the 18Z, this was showing a full-fledged hurricane. Now the GFS is backed off, and it's just a plume of moisture going into areas of Texas and Louisiana. At the same time, now the GFS is actually liking that wave right here that has a 70% chance to develop, and actually has it scooting a little bit further south, and then it fizzles it away, and it picks up on that other wave that has a 20% chance to develop. At the same time, you have this area right here, which I know it's hard to see, but this is showing up as a full-fledged another tropical system, which could be Odette, which is the next name after Nicholas. As early as Friday morning, moving into the Carolinas as an all-out tropical storm or hurricane. That's another thing we have to watch out for. This has been showing up consistently as some kind of tropical system, whether it's a depression, a wave, a storm, a hurricane. It's liking this area. This has actually been showing up the last 2 days, so we can't just neglect it. But now the GFS, and let me tell you, all models are really showing this long-term system right here. It's hard to even say long-term because we're getting into really the next 6 or 7 days. It's starting to show this long-term system, which is making that track across the tropical Atlantic. Now the GFS has this thing turning pretty soon, as there's not really enough blocking in place to really keep it far south. But we look at the Canadian model, same situation here, going through in time, shows tropical moisture getting into the Texas and Louisiana area. Picks up on that system right here. And look at right here, look at all this tropical moisture moving into the Carolinas. Pops up that L, which signifies a tropical system of some degree, and just throws a lot of moisture into the Carolinas. So I will mention early on, if you're in the southeast, like the Carolinas, Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia, next Saturday might break the streak of nice Saturdays. Regardless of a tropical system develops, it looks like there's going to be a lot of tropical moisture that surges into the area. Is it some kind of, is it a named storm? Is it an all-out tropical storm or hurricane? Just not sure yet. But look out here. Now the Canadian model is picking up on this long tracking tropical system. Canadian model is not super reliable, but it is model guidance this far out. I always like to put that out here. You have a decent ridge of high pressure up here to the northeast of the storm. It's kind of elongated and stretching this way, but it's enough to influence the storm to stay more south. So this is 240 hours out, it's 10 days out, but keep in mind the storm forms as early as early to midway next week. So I already had a nasty comment. For some reason, I've always been blessed with not having bad comments in my comments. People are always nice and it's always appreciated. But somebody called me a clown for posting model guidance of mid to long range models, and I'm definitely not a fearmonger or anything like that. So I people are going to say what they're going to say. So it is what it is. I'm here to show y'all model guidance and talk about the environmental factors in place that could lead to threatening scenarios or not. I'm not here to try to freak everybody out, and I think most viewers know that. So here we go. And it just shows that long tracking Canadian solution. You look at the icon. The icon shows something similar too. Shows that plume of moisture. The icon gets a little bit more aggressive with that system in the Western Gulf. So watch out, Texas and Louisiana. The icon doesn't really do much with the system. Well, I can't say that because I forgot I'm on the 06Z icon here. So this is actually the latest icon. If it shows OZ icon, then it might be a little different. So let's actually flip to that really quick. Let's see if my computer can handle me changing panels here, and it might freak out and just bog down. But here it is. The icon before this shows some kind of tropical system right here, but it never really hits a land. At the same time, here comes some long tracking storms developing into the tropical Atlantic. All model guidance are showing at least something off the coast of the southeast, at least something in the western Gulf of Mexico, and definitely showing something in the long range for the tropical Atlantic. You're moving forward here, check out the Euro. The Euro develops, it looks like a tropical storm, hits areas like Brownsville and southern areas of the coastal areas of Texas, brings a lot of heavy rain. It's a lot more south and west than the other models as far as that. We're getting into midweek, then it shows that plume of tropical moisture right here, but same thing with the icon. The Euro keeps it a lot more east and doesn't really interact with much with the East Coast at all, except the most extreme coastal areas. But here you go. 2 rows in a row. The European has a long tracking hurricane in the tropical Atlantic, forming as early as midweek, getting into this weekend, the next weekend. And look at it. It's making that track you don't want to see. Is there enough ridging in place? to keep this south and affecting areas of the Caribbean and maybe the southeast down the road, or maybe getting into the Gulf of Mexico. That's the kind of stuff we don't know. I can tell you right here, it doesn't look like there's a lot of strong ridging in place, but there might be some ridging into the mid-Atlantic that might move into place. I'm not sure, but if this was something that was actually going to happen, I would say that this would probably end up going out to sea right here, but just not sure yet. So you look at the latest EPS ensembles, the European ensembles, it picks up on this system. It picks up on this system a little bit, but the European's not quite as aggressive with the one off the coast of the southeast. But look at this long tracking one that right now has a 20% chance to develop, but you know it'll upgrade a little bit here in the coming days. This is all looks like it's heading, 240 hours out, 10 days out. It looks like it's heading towards mainland. So we have to watch. The GEFS ensembles, here they come. Picks up on that area that has a 70% chance to develop, fizzles it out eventually. Pretty decent signal for some kind of tropical system right here off the coast of the southeast, getting through in time. Now, GEFS ensembles, that is a pretty strong signal for something off the coast of the southeast developing and moving into the southeast. There's a lot of members showing something into next weekend for some kind of activity off the coast of the southeast. We need to monitor that big time. But then look at the big time signal way out in the tropical Atlantic showing up. We got to. Sorry guys, sounds like my girls are arguing. 1 second. Okay, sorry guys, I had to see what was going on with the girls. But this is the GEF ensembles. Like I said, you back it up here a little bit. That is a pretty strong signal off the southeast. But just the GEFS ensembles, you look at the European ensembles, it's not near as aggressive. But what I do want to show you is this is a strong signal. It's all over the place, but a pretty decent signal in the long range, showing some tropical Atlantic activity, making the long track across the tropical Atlantic. But a lot of members go out to sea, then there's a lot of members that plow into the Caribbean islands. So we need to watch out for sure. Closer view of the system for off the coast of the southeast per the latest operational GFS. This is what it does. You get into Friday morning. It's moving right towards the coastal areas, and it plows right into North Carolina and extreme eastern areas of North Carolina as a strong tropical storm of some sorts as you get into Friday afternoon. So that's something we need to watch. It's been showing up for a few days now, and it's all over the place of whether it's going to be really far east or more far west and actually interact with land, or how much will it develop. We're just not sure. This video is going on a lot longer than anticipated. But you look at the steering currents for that system, there is a little bit of a ridge of high pressure that's kind of pushing it into the eastern areas. But that's all I got, guys. My girls are going crazy. I hope y'all have a great day. Love y'all. Thank y'all. And God bless all y'all.